A smartphone can connect you to the entire world in a second. A car can take you hundreds of miles in a day. Electricity powers our entire existence. Now, what if the secret to a stronger family, a closer community, and a more peaceful life was to willingly give it all up? This isn't a hypothetical question, it's the daily reality of the Amish, and their reasons will surprise you. Welcome back to the colony legacy. The horse and buggy is the most famous symbol of the Amish, but it represents something much deeper, a deliberate and profound separation from the modern world. Today we decode their fascinating and often misunderstood relationship with technology. We'll look past the cliches to the ideas that guide everyday choices, ideas older than our gadgets, but sharply relevant today. This is not a story about fear, it's about intentional limits and community priorities. Let's begin. First, the great misconception that the Amish are afraid of technology or stuck in time. People see differences and assume fear. The reality is choice. They are deliberate, not backward. The guiding ideas come from Anabaptist teachings, terms like Gelassenheit, a yielding to a higher will, and separation from the world. Those ideas shape a community that evaluates each tool for its social effects, not merely its usefulness. They are slow adopters, cautious and pragmatic. That caution isn't abstract, it's designed to protect family rhythms and community bonds. So next we look at the Ordnung, their living rulebook that filters technology. It's less a legal code and more a communal agreement. That flexibility is why neighboring districts can look very different. Same faith, different judgments based on how each community measures impact. Now let's examine that Ordnung closer in the next section. Understanding their choices means seeing the tests every new tool must pass. Chapter 1. The Great Misconception. Many outsiders assume the Amish hate progress, but that misses the point. Their approach is philosophical. Technology is judged for its effects on people, not for novelty. Gelassenheit shapes that view. Gelassenheit, yielding, means humility and restraint, not rejection of all modern things. Separation from the world is about preserving a way of life centered on family and mutual aid. They ask, will this strengthen us or pull us apart? The Amish are adaptable. They run businesses, use modern tools selectively, and negotiate change constantly. That makes frozen in time a lazy stereotype. Choice, not fear, drives them. New tools are welcomed if they support communal life, if not they are limited or rejected. One district may permit battery lights on buggies to improve safety. Another may forbid them to avoid slippery slopes toward individualism. It's a nuanced balance, practical benefits weighed against social cost. That deliberation leads to the Ordnung, their everyday operating system. Chapter 2. The Ordnung. We'll explore how the Ordnung functions and why it varies. It's lived, debated, and revised by the community. Next, specific mechanisms of the Ordnung. The Ordnung acts as a technology filter, community-designed and community-enforced. It's living governance, tailored to protect relationships. The Ordnung is not a single book of rules. It's an unwritten, living consensus about how to live. It is debated in meetings, applied differently by each district. Think of it as a local operating system. One district might accept battery-powered lights, another rejects them. The Ordnung covers everything, from farm equipment to the color of clothing. Judgments are practical and contextual. Changes are considered collectively. That collective lens determines adoption. Adherence is social. Enforcement comes from within the community. So what's practical in one place is unacceptable next door. The Ordnung functions like a community-designed operating system, prioritizing relationships over convenience. It supports education in context and hands-on skills that bind neighbors together. That is the metric for technology, social cohesion. Coming up, the tests the Amish use to accept or reject new tools. But first, a quick reminder from our previous episode. Their rules protect something central, family and community. We'll examine the specific tests next. These tests are practical and social, and they guide nearly every decision. Chapter 3. The 4 core principles of rejection. This powerful system of using the Ordnung to judge technology is designed to protect one thing above all else: the Amish family and community. To understand the deep structure of that family and the incredible power of their community support systems, Don't miss our previous episode. We've linked the documentary, The Amish Family and Community, in the description below. Find the link below to dive deeper. Back to the tests that shape choices. Chapter 3 asks a single question. Will this technology harm family or community life? They apply 4 specific principles to evaluate new tools. We'll unpack each one with examples. First, does it weaken the family? Television, for example, was widely rejected because it introduces outside values and interrupts conversation. Preserving shared time matters more than entertainment convenience. Second, does it weaken the community? Cars were rejected in many districts because they enable commuting that fractures local dependence. Horses keep people local and interdependent. Third, does it promote vanity or a connection to the world? Smartphones and social media encourage individualism and worldly temptations. Limiting vanity preserves humility. Fourth, does it replace human labor unnecessarily? They favor methods that require cooperation, keeping skills and relationships intact. Too much automation can undermine equality and meaning. Together, these principles form a practical litmus test for any new tool. No single principle rules alone. Each decision balances many social effects. Next, how they bend the rules to survive in the modern world. Does it weaken the family? Television is the classic example. It brings external narratives into the hearth and shortens conversation. By limiting broadcast media, families preserve shared stories and responsibilities. Everyday tasks become opportunities to connect. Does it weaken the community? Cars allow distant shopping and commuting that can hollow out local economies. Keeping transport local fosters interdependence and responsibility. Local trade sustains social bonds. Does it promote vanity? Personal devices and social platforms promote self-display and comparison. Minimizing these channels reduces envy and distraction. Skills and humility are prioritized. Does it replace human labor unnecessarily? Machines that concentrate power can shift wealth and status. They choose methods that require teamwork, preserving equality and mutual obligation. Pragmatic use of tools supports livelihoods without erasing roles. These principles produce nuanced outcomes. Some technologies are adapted, used collectively rather than individually. Shared phones, for example, allow commerce without personal immersion in outside culture. Non-Amish drivers fill gaps without changing norms. Decisions are deliberative, balancing spiritual aims and practical needs. This deliberation keeps technology a servant of community ends. Now, how do they bend rules to survive? They are not absolutists. Pragmatism shapes many choices. Generators and batteries appear in practical contexts. Final chapter coming up. Chapter 4. Where do the Amish bend the rules? The answer is pragmatic adaptation. The community telephone shanty is a classic, access for business without individual immersion. It separates private life from public commerce. They also hire non-Amish drivers for travel beyond their communities. This keeps long-distance needs met while maintaining local norms. Outside services fill pragmatic gaps. In workshops, pneumatic and hydraulic tools increase productivity without altering social structure. Generators and batteries are often permitted when they serve community livelihoods. Adaptation is practical and bounded. They are problem solvers, not isolationists. Custody of culture guides each choice. Community oversight ensures technology remains a means, not an end. Such choices preserve skills, dignity, and ties. In short, the Amish teach that technology must always be our servant, never our master. The community, not the individual, decides. What would happen if we applied that question? Does this strengthen family and community to our own devices? Thank you for joining us on the Colony Legacy. If you found this insightful, explore our linked episode on family and community below.